Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the end of the year. This is we're doing a past, present, future spread for the last quarter. You have this cosmic hatching card that says what you've been waiting for is ready to be. Your patience is about to be rewarded. You have a scarab spirit that says what appears unusable may still have great value if you look deeper. I feel like you've had this card with me before, that scarab card, and that's definitely something that I would pay attention to. Of course, Aries, is the fact that there could be something that you think doesn't hold much value that is very valuable to you. It could be like an experience that you had or something that you've been working on. And, I kind of feel that some of you might just have to like add a twist to something, especially with that Knight of Wands showing up as your first card. The Knight of Wands is very spontaneous, but like if he's working on a project, for example, and it's not going in the right direction, he might, it's not that it's not working, it just needs a twist. And I kind of get that feeling for some of you where it's not that something you're working on isn't working, it just is maybe you need to have a different approach or approach it from a different perspective or a different angle. And I think that would be helpful for you, especially if I feel like this is talking about work or business. And so if you're working on something that isn't working as well as you want, it's like, is there a different approach to how you can get it to work? And again, I don't know what you all do, so you're gonna have to put your thinking cap on, but that's definitely what popped into my head with this energy. I also feel, again, I love that you have that cosmic egg hatching. It says what you've been waiting for, you're about to be rewarded. So there could be a reward coming in for you. I would stay as flexible as possible with the Knight of Wands. Again, in your past position, you have the Knight of Wands, Page of Cups, and the Tower. Everybody's had the Tower except for, I think, Taurus was the only sign that hasn't had the Tower. And I'm almost done with this set of readings. So, definitely could be some sort of global Tower moment. Lucky for you, the Tower's coming up in the past. So, this could be a past Tower moment that you're thinking about, but I would just stay flexible. You have the Page of Cups. It's interesting that you go from the Page of Cups to the Knight of Cups. Like some of you, if you do want love, this could be a surprise in love. Like maybe you are surprised that someone is interested in you. Sometimes I also feel whenever I have like the Page and then the Knight after it, that it's saying that you're taking something more seriously or something is more serious than you think. So, if you have recently started dating a person or talking to a person, or if you're about to date a person or talk to a person, it's like right now you might see them as a Page of Cups, but actually they are the Knight of Cups. And I get that feeling from this reading as well. You have the Tower, of course. Again, everybody's had the Tower. I think the end of the year is going to be crazy. So, again, just expect global Tower moments. We've already seen a bunch. I predicted this at the beginning of the year, and I definitely wasn't wrong. So, again, I would just keep your head on straight. The other thing is that, like I said, everybody's had the Tower. The whole point of the Tower is that these people are coming back to reality. So, there is some astrology to kind of like back this up, that, that we could just be experiencing reality. It's like we've all been in a little bit of a dream, and now we're kind of coming back down to earth, and reality is hitting us. Is this a bad thing? No, I really don't think so. One thing I would say is you have the Page of Swords right next to the Tower. The Page of Swords is looking at the Tower. The Page of Swords is a card of curiosity, and if you did have a past Tower moment that you are thinking about, this could represent needing to like let go of the mystery, because Page of Swords, Moon to the Death card, and this could say that you need to just move on from a Tower moment. Sometimes like a Tower moment could be like a breakup or a separation, and the Page of Swords would say maybe you're wondering why it happened in the first place, but this right here would kind of be like moving past the why, like just needing to not know, or being comfortable not knowing why something happened, right? With the Knight of Wands, you have the Five of Cups. Again, you have to add a twist to something. Five of Cups, he's normally crying over the 3 spilt cups of wine that are in front of him. But if he turns around, there's a new way of doing things. There are 2 cups behind him, which will lead to a bridge and a castle. So it's not that something isn't working. It's just the way that you're doing something isn't working. And I feel like that's what this is saying. It's like whatever you're working towards, you just need to add a twist to it or come at it from a different perspective. And I feel it will work a lot better. So don't get... Also, what I would say is like don't give up on something that you're trying to accomplish. With the Page of Cups, you have the Devil. Could be a Capricorn, for sure. Of course, I would be careful of toxic energy, or anyone toxic, but at the same time, I feel that I really don't feel that bad about this Devil showing up here in your reading. I feel that this could just be, a Capricorn that's coming in for you. It could be a person with Capricorn in their chart. With the Tower, you have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, Queen of Wands is about being bold, being assertive. The Queen of Wands is about learning as you go as well. Kind of makes sense with the Tower. If you're coming down to a new reality, then you have to move forward without knowing the details. The thing with the Queen of Wands is that she has to go on a journey without knowing if she's protected or not. She's the only Wands court card that doesn't have salamanders on her cloak. The Knight of Wands has salamanders, King and the Page of Wands have salamanders. The salamanders represent protection from fire, which is kind of like protection from risk. But the thing with the Queen of Wands is she's really the card of learning as you go. So a lot of you might be, maybe you experienced a Tower moment that put you on a path where you've kind of had to, be your own teacher, where you've had to figure things out on your own. But I feel like this is leading to good things. Can't make this up. Next, in the area of your present position, you have this moon rising. It says truth on it. You have this new moon. It says beginnings on it. So the Tower is definitely the truth bringer. The Tower, those people have been ignoring the truth, and now they're being brought down to reality so they can see the truth. So a lot of you could be seeing the truth of like your situation or the truth of a situation in your life, and this is clearly going to lead to a new beginning. You have the High Priestess, the Knight of Cups, and the Page of Swords. The High Priestess is, of course, about trusting your intuition. But the High Priestess is unlimited potential. She has no roof over her head, and it kind of says that she can accomplish anything she wants, and there are no limits to what she can accomplish. So, definitely a good card for new beginnings as well and potential, but also great for intuition. You also have the High Priestess and the Hierophant, or the High Priest. So these two I look at as better divine counterparts than the Emperor and the Empress. So if you're looking for love, this could be a very good connection. Again, you have the Knight of Cups as well, and the Knight of Cups can be a knight in shining armor. I just get this feeling of like you already have your eye on a person, or you're already dealing with a person. And so if you're already dealing with a person, the end of the year is pretty good for love. And, so again, this could definitely be love that's coming in for you. The funny thing is like you could also be wondering if a person is toxic with the Page of Cups and the Devil, but it's like they're not, So I would trust the evidence. It's like I really don't have a good, it's like I don't know what to say here with that Devil and the Page of Cups. It's like, it's like I don't think this person does anything toxic, right? But it's like sometimes I think maybe our brain tells us something about a person, like, oh, they can't, it's too good to be true, or there's no way this person is actually this real or this good. But I do feel like they are. So again, if you're dealing with a person, again, I would trust the evidence. Of course, don't listen to me. I'm reading for a bunch of you, so this person could be toxic. If they're toxic, right? But, again, I would trust the evidence. I would say that, if this is a person who says things, it's like, do they actually do the things that they say? Are they, backing it up with evidence? And that's what I'd pay attention to the most. This is also a great card for your dream. A lot of your readings this year, Aries, have been about your dream or your dream life. And the Knight of Cups is a great card for, working towards a dream. You have the Page of Swords. It's almost like you have to let the Tower go here, is what I feel. Like I said, sometimes I think we get stuck in that energy of like wanting to know why something happened, or, wanting to know why something didn't work out, or trying to figure out how to get something to work out. And I feel this is really encouraging you to let the need to know why go. There's really no other way to put it. With the High Priestess, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is a change in direction. Again, another card that would really represent adding a twist to something that you do. So the Seven of Pentacles says, is the juice worth the squeeze? Normally the guy is looking at these Seven Pentacles, and he's looking at those pentacles, and he's saying, is it worth it? Or, this also, well, let me just back up a little bit before I start just muttering. But, what I would say is he's been working on something for a long time. He has grown those pentacles, and he's wondering if there's something else that he could grow, or a different way he could approach his work to get more out of it, right? And I think that sometimes we work on something, and at a certain point we've gained a bunch of knowledge, so we should know better ways of doing things. And I feel that this is kind of saying there is a lot of potential in adding a twist to what you do. Like I don't have any good examples, but it's almost like if I were to start a podcast, right, it would be in addition to what I'm doing right now. It would be like a twist to what I'm doing right now, but it could enhance everything that I'm doing. And that's how I would look at this energy in your life. It's like, is there a twist that you can add to your work or your business or your career or whatever you work on? Even if you're retired, you probably work on something. But can you add a twist that's also like an enhancement, right? With the Knight of Cups, you have the King of Cups, Could be a water sign coming in for you. Could be a person who just has a lot of water in their chart, or it could be a very intuitive person, but definitely could be a King of Cups type person. King of Cups is my card of the home, and this could be a person that makes you feel at home or makes you feel very comfortable as well. It's interesting that we have the Page, Knight, and then the King. Like I said, this person is more, it's almost like this person will develop in front of you. It's like they are more than you think. With the Page of Swords, you have the Knight of Swords. Definitely don't run back to the past. Normally, the Knight of Swords is going this way on a traditional Knight of Swords card. And I always say that I kind of feel like sometimes the Knight of Swords gets to a point in the reading, right? In this case, he would have run up to the Queen of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords can represent running back to the past, away from whatever is showing up here. So again, I feel like this is saying continue moving forward. Don't keep living in the past with that the tower energy. Next, in your future position, you actually have 3 cards. You have this eagle. It says spirit has your back on it. You have this squirrel. It says believe in yourself, which definitely the whole entire reading says that. And you also have this electric eel. It says bring your ideas to life. So again, if you have an idea for a twist that you could do on your business or your career or whatever you work on, I feel that you need to absolutely believe in yourself, because the High Priestess is unlimited potential. And I also feel you really need to kind of like go for something here. You have the Hierophant, the Moon, and the Queen of Pentacles. The Hierophant can be a blessing. The Hierophant, he is the connection between the heavens and the earth. And again, this is your future position. And so the Hierophant communicates with both sides. And he is able to bring blessings down to earth by, basically translating his vision, from the heavens into earth. And so I feel that a lot of you, especially with the Knight of Cups here and also the Moon can be a card of dreams as well, could be bringing some sort of dream down to earth. The Moon, I look at sometimes as needing to bring the Moon down to earth, but the Moon can represent fears, fantasies, illusions, secrets, mysteries, things like that. But the Moon, nowhere on the Moon does it say stop. The Moon has this path straight down the middle to these mountains, and it says you need to bring the Moon down to earth. So you need to bring your dream, whatever your dream is, from the dream world into the real world, and this could require, putting a twist, like I said, on your work, or changing the way that you work. The other thing with that Scarab Spirit is, again, that Scarab Spirit says what appears unusable may still have great value if you look deeper. So there might be a twist that you can add to work that you've already done that could make it much, much more successful as well, right? And so that's what I would look at here with this energy. I'll give you an example. It's like, I have a group that I run, and every single week we do calls in this group, and it's like I realized over the past few weeks that I have 100 calls or something like that we've done so far, and they just all kind of have gotten lost. There's a lot of good information in the calls, right? So I recently am hiring a person to go through all the calls, pull out the best parts, and turn them into videos, right? And so it's I'm taking something that is kind of not very usable in its current state, because they're some of those calls are 2 hours long, and I'm turning it into something that's more usable, just like that card says. So that's one example, but I kind of feel like this is attached to your dream, and you might have things that again, just in their current state aren't usable, but if you change them and you think about it, you might be able to get more out of it with this card. You have the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is a card of resourcefulness. Everybody has had this card as well, just like the Tower. And so I would be resourceful at the end of the year here. I wouldn't go spending crazy. Even if you have $1 billion in the bank account, I still wouldn't be spending like crazy. I would kind of keep an eye on your finances. I don't think this is anything to be worried about. I just think that, it's just a good time to take care of your finances, right? With the Hierophant, you have the Hierophant. So definitely bringing some sort of dream down to earth with the Hierophant. And also, again, this could be a divine counterpart that's coming in for you. With the Moon, yes, can't make this up. You have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is about fulfillment or wish fulfillment. Nine of Cups can also represent being in alignment with what you want. So with the Nine of Cups, we have to we have to be in the energy. We have to be the thing that we want to be before we can have it. And so I always look at the Nine of Cups as a card of needing to adopt the habits of success, or needing to start acting as if you already have something that you want. And that's what I would do with that card. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Ten of Swords here. Again, we have the Knight of Swords running up to the Queen of Swords. I feel like this is about needing to realize that the past is dead, done, over with, and needing to make sure that you don't run back to the past. You know, the good part of the Ten of Swords is that really it represents a blessing in disguise. So you could be realizing that not having something from the past with the Tower is a blessing in disguise. Next, in the area of your outcome, you have this Change and Healing card. You also have this Fire Spirit card, which is you. So you could be healing or going through healing, and you do have the Death card, which, you know, can kind of be a healing in some ways. And the Fire Spirit card would just be you showing up here in a strong position. So you have the Death card, the Four of Wands, and the Ace of Wands. The Death card, of course, is a transition or a transformation. I think ultimately you are going to add a twist to your life. And I feel like this twist is going to pay off big time, whatever it is. Now, you have to do it, right? You know, I feel like you're going to have to put the work in to make it happen. I also think you're going to have to put your thinking cap on, because obviously I don't know what all of you do, and I don't even know what twist would be possible. But I would just start, you know, turn your brain on. I'm a big fan, like Psycho-Cybernetics is one of my favorite books. I read it like 2 times a year, right? In that book, he talks about how you need to talk to your brain and tell it what to do, right? So I am convinced that if you just tell your brain, like, hey, I'm looking for a twist on the business that I have, or I'm looking for a twist on the career that I have, or a different way of doing things, that you will discover it if you tell your brain to look for it. But you have to, like, turn the brain on. And so I feel that's what the Death card is saying. Like, there's a big change that could be coming in for you, and it could be very freeing, and it could be very unique. You know, we have this child right here. The child is the only person on the card that isn't afraid of change. He's the only one that is holding flowers up to the Death Rider, and it represents the fact that children are normally very excited by change, and so I feel like you need to be excited about the changes that are happening. You have the Four of Wands, which could be marriage, and you do have the Hierophant twice, so if you're meeting a person, definitely could be a person that leads to marriage. But this is also a card of freedom, and again, I think you need to do things that could potentially produce more free time or more freedom for you. Like if you're working too much, can you add a twist like I am to those videos, right? That is going to provide me with, you know, a certain level of freedom. Number one, I'm not doing the work. I'm hiring someone to do it for me. Number two, I'm getting more out of the work that I've already done. So, you know, again, I think that this would be a great option for you with the Four of Wands. You have the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is out with the old and with the new. I love the Ace of Wands, my favorite card in the tarot, because sometimes I think the Ace of Wands is just that one thing we need to get motivated. You know, it's that spark of hope, that spark of inspiration. It is kind of sometimes that one little bit that we need to move past something that is crumbling, just like the Tower, which you have, you have right here, the Tower to the Ace of Wands. So definitely a new beginning. With the Death card, you have the, what is this? The Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is something new and a new beginning. I think, oh yeah. You had this New Moon card that says beginnings on it. So there's clearly like a new beginning after some sort of death or transformation in your life. With the Four of Wands, you have the Fool. I feel like people are going to call you foolish, is what I would say. I don't know. I kind of feel like you're meeting a person that you could be committing to very quickly, and people might be having something to say about it. It immediately popped into my head, but you know, I don't know. I think that if it works, right? So you might be committing to someone quickly, or who knows? Like, I'm not saying you're going to get married to a person tomorrow, but you know, again, you might get into a connection in the future where you marry the person, you know, quickly, and quickly could be like 6 months or like a year, right? And, you know, but again, I kind of feel like at the same time, if it works, and, you know, that's the feeling I get there. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Two of Wands. Yeah, Two of Wands is about really taking the lead. Again, you are going to be the one that has to create this twist that has a lot of potential in your life. Like, you are going to be the one that has to take advantage of the energy and use it. But the Two of Wands is a great card of progress and growth. You have this bouquet. It says compliments from an admirer. So yes, definitely could be a love connection coming in for you. It's kind of funny. It's like I really feel like I'm not sure if you are questioning this or they are at the beginning. It's like someone does not see this correctly at first. I wouldn't worry about it because it doesn't look like something you have to worry about, but I just feel like maybe someone, it could be you, could be them, just doesn't see the full potential right away. You have this Cobwebs card. It says protected from negative forces beyond your control. So again, I feel like you are protected at this time. I wouldn't worry too much about things that are going on in the world. You have this July card in this barrel. It says, you feel like something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. Maybe since the month of July this year, you have been feeling that something is lacking. I feel like you've been trying to fill in that gap, and it looks to me like you are. So again, a lot of you could be discovering what has been missing, and I feel like that's a good thing. You have this peacock. It says, beware of great pride. I actually feel pretty differently about this. I feel like you need to show something off more, or it's like something needs more attention, or for some of you, it's like maybe the twist could be the appearance of something as well. So it's like if you have a business, you could be upgrading or updating the way your website looks, or you could be updating or upgrading the way that you look. And I feel that if you are doing that, like if you're changing the appearance of something or how something appears, that could be it could be that simple. It could be as simple as changing the way something looks. You have this forest card. It says muddled, unclear thinking, moon. There's no doubt about it. I feel like there will be doubts. If you're doing something new, adding a twist, you are going to doubt yourself, no doubt about it, with the moon. The beautiful thing about the reading is we have the moon to the death card, and on the death card, we have the two pillars from the moon show up right here, and the sun is coming up in between those two pillars. So again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You're probably going to doubt yourself at times, but eventually the sun will come up and you'll stop doubting yourself. So I would keep going. But pretty interesting reading here, Aries, I have to say. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.